Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube? Capital G here. Konami has recently revealed a new ban list, and with that, the start of a fresh, new, exciting format. Many may wonder what are the best decks to start trying to pick up or prepare for in the new competitive meta, and that's exactly why I do this series. I try to compile a comprehensive list of the best decks for the upcoming formats to let people know what to expect. Now, as we no longer know exactly how long a format will be anymore, I'm going to just go on the assumption that a format will last at least as long as our most recent one, and that would be about 5 months. So this means I'll be taking into consideration everything leading up to the TCG release of Raging Tempest, but that booster set will be excluded, mainly because we'll probably have a new ban list right about the time that that set launches. With all that said, sit back, relax, and welcome to the top 10 decks of the August 29th, 2016 format, the Yugioh hierarchy. Number 10, Trains, all variants. We start off our list with a deck that didn't quite make it in on schedule, but hey, better late than never. Trains are fairly straightforward as a deck. Summon a bunch of huge ass machines and beat the crap out of your opponent with them. Being machine and rank 10 base gives the deck access to huge damage cards such as Limiter Removal and Gustav Max, both of which are completely game stealing cards, as well as the fact that much like Cleafort, Skill Drain turns just about everything in your deck into a behemoth. The deck works ever so well with fantastic other archetypes such as Shadows, Volcanics, and Kaijus, so you're really not even limited by your own archetype. Number 9, Cyber Angels. I personally think Cyber Angels have a ton of potential, and a lot of that has to do with how fast and aggressive the deck can be, especially for a ritual archetype. I mean, when you have a 3000 attack monster that does burn damage, it can potentially be a walking Regeki that can attack twice. Players are not going to be able to take you lightly. The fact that Cyber Angels can easily incorporate other great Light Fairy support gives the deck even more potent offense, and it lessens the reliance on the Cyber Angels themselves. Also, by mixing in the Star Seraph, Saphira, or even Herald of Perfection, you can raise this deck's competitive ceiling significantly. Number 8, Dark Lords. Much like our number 9, Dark Lords are a blast from the GX past that want to pressure the opponent into submission using colossal sized fairies. However, Dark Lords have the unique ability to use their spells and traps from the graveyard during either player's turn, which is pretty unheard of and damn insane if you ask me. These cards range from Regeki Break to Monster Reborn, but best of all, you don't actually have to pay the cost. It's very similar to Destiny Herald Diamond do when you activate the cards themselves. With Allure Darkness now at 3, the deck has draw power for days. Considering Ixtab is, basically a Destiny draw that can be activated from the hand, the biggest problem that I see with the deck is sometimes I've noticed that the early game can be kind of tough, and the deck definitely can tend to brick more often than what players would consider acceptable. Number 7, Cosmo. Cosmo did take some light but very significant hits on the ban list, most notably Dark Destroyer to 1. However, Card Demise can easily pick up the slack for the deck, and you'll probably simply start seeing more copies of Dark Eclipser, which is, for my money, always been a very solid card, be played in the deck. I don't have Cosmo this high because I think that the deck has been drastically hurt. I just worry about the deck's ability to get the tin can early in the game with only one copy of Emergency Teleports. Card Demise can fix most of the problems that the deck has, but that's only when you draw it. Number 6, Metaphos Yang Zings. These two archetypes were basically made for each other. Metaphos give Yang Zings the best way to get to their key cards that the archetype has ever known, at the same time giving yourself the ability to get to your Metaphos spells and traps basically for free. Yang Zings, I feel, are not only more consistent now, but they're much better suited to make strong turn 1 fields with the soon arrival of Denlong and 9 Branches. Yang Zing should be able to make some of the best stun fields in the game. My biggest gripe with the deck is simply that the Metaphos themselves aren't really that useful as monsters, and they really don't contribute that much to the Yang Zing fields. Number 5, Atlantean Mermail and Water Mass Heroes. Mark my words, the advent of Tree Toad is going to be meta defining, and I think you'll soon see that every deck that can summon it not only will, but will usually prioritize it. Enter Mermail and Heroes. Basically, they're polar opposites in playstyle, but both of these decks will equally benefit from the existence of Tree Toad and the ability to summon it from Bahamut Shark easily. Heroes get another massive stun monster that makes their Dark Law fields even stronger, even more so than Rafflesia. Mermails, on the other hand, get a backup plan for when the deck can't OTK, as usually the only tangible stun card that the deck has at its disposal is Abyss Gaios, and it obviously goes without saying, he's not the easiest guy in the world to summon. Expect Heroes to give Goblinberg the boot for 10 goldfish and for Tree Toad to shake up up the meta. Number 4, PK Fire. PK Fire is kind of like that cute girl you know who's been through a lot of bad relationships. Damaged, sure, but still really attractive, so fuck it. The deck did inherently lose some of its potency as double Beatrice Fields are now a thing of the past, and milling Surge should just happen a lot less often, but you still have your core. You still have triple Dante, a searchable Fiendish Chain, and I also don't think I can accurately explain just how much Karen being limited to 1 benefits this deck as a whole, as it was pretty much the bane of this deck's existence. Also, being able to go into Ophion and Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon, pretty damn nice. Number 3, Blue Eyes. Look, Blue Eyes is at 100% full strength right now, and a lot of last meta isn't. We literally just saw at Worlds when some of the best players around the globe played out that exact scenario. Blue Eyes came out head and shoulders above the rest. The deck is powerful, it has good removal for both the back row and the front row. Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon counters the graveyard, which is pretty huge against decks like DDD, Yang Zing, and PK Fire. Furthermore, I don't even really think that it's that relevant that Pendulums and Monarchs got devastated by the ban list because those matchups weren't even that bad for Blue Eyes to begin with. Number 2, Different Dimension Demons. So I might be pushing it here, including DDDs on the list, but Pendulum Domination is going to be released before Raging Tempest, and history has shown us in years past that the structure deck released in January usually has a sizable impact on the meta. Look at last year's Emperor of Darkness structure deck or the Hero Strike structure deck the year before that. If you've never seen DDD in action, believe me, there is a reason why this is one of the strongest decks in the OCG, and it's because it's fast, ultra aggressive, consistent, and nearly immune to most of the most commonly played floodgates in the game, things like Goes and Match and Rivalry of Warlords. Honestly, with our recent ban list, I'd argue that DDDs are going to be even stronger in the TCG because Maxi was like the #1 counter to the deck, and now that Allure of Darkness is at 3 in the TCG, the deck just has infinite draw power. Prepare for some of the most unbreakable boards in the entire game. Honorable mentions include Zombie Synchro, Demise Cleafort, Psyframe, and Magispector. Finally, to our number 1, ABCs. ABCs are basically like Machinas and Gadgets, just far, far, far better, and with an infinitely higher ceiling. The concept of summoning a bunch of little level 4 machines hasn't changed, but now we also can summon a 3000 Godly Boss monster for free, might I add, who can banish cards on both players' turns and can pretty much dodge targeting as well. ABC Buster Dragon is probably going to become the best boss monster in the entire game, but ABCs can also easily summon Cyber Dragon Infinity, Constellar Pallades, Traptrix Reflazer for added stun. Like, the deck has so many different options that it can throw at opposing players, which makes it incredibly overwhelming. The deck also has multiple variants, including Karakuri and Pure Rank 4, thus making it extremely difficult to counter. It's proven itself to be one of the most consistent and best decks in the OCG, and I think it's going to do the same in the TCG. So ladies and gents, there you have it, my top 10 list. Let me know what you guys thought of the list. Were there any decks that I missed out on? What do you guys think is going to dominate the meta? Leave that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing makes life happy.